I'm just about to start my meal planning for the week, so I thought I'd let you in on my secrets. Today's video is all about how I meal plan, how I shop when I'm at the supermarket, and how I also save money and how you can do it too. Every Sunday, I release a video all about life, organisation and hacks. So if you haven't already subscribed, please do so because it means I can keep producing these videos every single Sunday. I'm Maria from Organise My Life and I'm ready to start. So let's go. So the first step you want to do is take an inventory. So check your fridge, your freezer and your pantries. Make a list of everything that's in there. Quite often people will go to the supermarket without doing this, which means they're buying unnecessary foods that they probably already have in their pantry or in their fridge. The problem with having double ups and sometimes 3 times as many is it ends up being cluttered and you get to a point that you can't see what you have in there. Especially if you've got a packed freezer and it's a small one, things end up right at the back and you're probably never gonna see them again, at least not for the next 6 months. So let's see what I've got in my fridge. As you can see, I've got my breads on the top shelf. So I like a rye bread and the kids like the white bread. So I do buy one of each of those, and I also buy wraps in as well, which just lay flat on the top shelf. On the top shelf usually I also keep my Greek yogurts, which we tend to have every single day. In my middle shelves I keep all my meats and things like that. So as you can see, I've barely got anything in here apart from my salmon. So that means that I know that I need to add those to the list too. And then finally I've got some strawberries on the bottom, and then in my bottom crisper section, I've got some salads in there. So I've got a good selection there and they're still all looking great. So I only need to add a few extra things to my list there. So I keep my chips and that on the door. And then in the Tupperware, I have all of my leftover meals. Got my ice cube trays in there, and then my frozen vegetables, and then any sorts of meats or fish I may have at the bottom. So I always recommend writing everything down, like I said before. And whilst I'm going through my fridge and my freezer, I'll notice we have no milk, so milk goes on the list. I'll notice we need more cheese, so cheese goes on the list. So I do that all the time. And if you're like me, we tend to buy a lot of the same foods all the time. So you start to have a mental note of what you have and what you don't have. You can write it down on a piece of paper, but I use a meal planner. These are actually my own meal planners that I designed, and you can buy these on my website. I'll pop a link underneath below, but these are amazing and makes meal planning so much easier, and I can guarantee that you're going to save money as well. So just a space for what's in your freezer, what's in your fridge, what's in your pantry. And then once I've done this section, then I'll have Monday to Sunday or Friday to Thursday, depending on when you shop. And I'll devise a meal using what I have in these 3 columns here. To make these meals, if I need extra food, I then write it on my list. So not only do I write things on the list whilst I'm checking all these things, I also write down things that I need extra in order to make these meals happen. There is also a space at the bottom, so I always have like breakfast, and I write the things down that we're all going to be eating for breakfast just to check that I've definitely got all those things in. And the same with lunches as well. The kids tend to eat the same things at lunchtime. I tend to eat the same things at lunchtime as well. And then I've just got a couple of random boxes at the bottom. I use these for like bathrooms or cosmetics or cleanings. So I'll always make sure I remember to write down things like laundry detergent or toilet rolls, toothpaste, toothbrushes. So all that goes on the list as well. So every time you need to write something or get it from the supermarket, it goes in this green column here. I can guarantee doing this, you will save money because you're not buying anything that you don't need. and you're not gonna be having any waste either. Once I've finished completing my entire list, I then put an approximate price next to everything that I want to buy. For example, if I want to buy a fillet steak one week and I've put maybe $18 a kilo next to it, and then I find it's $30 a kilo when I go to the supermarket, I might just then change that to a rub steak. Doing this helps me realize how much that grocery bill is going to cost. If it's way over my usual $120 a week budget, then I'll just swap it around and maybe make some cheaper meals instead, just to keep me on track. So then, once I've finished my entire list, it's time to go to the supermarket. I like to shop in more than one place. For me, it's usually Aldi, Woolworths, and a local greengrocers. Where I go, they're all in one area, so I'm not going too far out of my way, and it doesn't really take me too long. The great thing about having a list is the fact that you're going around the supermarket in super speedy sonic time. It doesn't take you long because you're not browsing. You're literally going in, buying what you need, and then coming back out. With regards to things like fruits and meats, start trying to remember the prices. So for example, I wouldn't really want to pay more than $3 a kilo for bananas or $3.50 a kilo for apples. So if I tend to find that these items are really expensive, then I'll just change the type of fruit or meat that it actually is until it works to my budget. Right guys, well that's it. I hope you enjoyed that and a little bit of an insight into the way that I meal plan and I shop. I hope you can do it like me too and bring those grocery bills down from hundreds of dollars down to $100, $150, whatever works for you and your family. I'll see you soon guys. Please subscribe to my channel and I see you next week.